Hello, all you fraction math fans out there. In order to simplify fractions, we want to find the GCF, better known as the greatest common factor. In order to do that, we have to take our fraction, and we're going to look over here in this GCF box, and we're going to find what would be the greatest factor that would go into both 18 and 21. Now let's think. What will go into 18 and 21? Well, 50 certainly won't. 5 won't, because neither one of them end in a 0 or a 5. 14's too big. 2 won't go because 2 won't go into 21. So let's give 3 a try. Alright, so if we divide both of these, the top and the bottom, by 3, the GCF, 18 divided by 3 would give us 6, and 21 divided by 3 would give us 7. So our simplified fraction would be 6/7. Now your turn. Pause the video, copy the other two down in your notebook, find the GCF, and write the simplified fraction. Alright, let's see how you did. 6/14. What will go into 6 and 14? Let's see. Okay, yep, you got it, 2. 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. 14 divided by 2 gives us 7. Therefore, we have 3/7. Moving on, 50/200. What will go into both of those? You got it. Yes, 5 would, but that's really small. We want to go for the greatest common factor. So we want to grab 50, divide 50 by 50 gives us 1, and 200 divided by 50 gives us 1/4. Hope you did well on those. Alright, let's go to our next slide. Okay, for all of you cake fans out there, if you have a little bit of difficulty simplifying fractions, this is an easy method to use. It's called the upside down cake method. You use prime numbers, which we know are numbers that only themselves and 1 to be factors. So what you do is this looks like a wedding cake. You put your two fractions here, 14, or your fraction 14 and 28. So first of all, you know that they're both even, so you can divide by 2. So when you divide them both by 2, you get 14 divided by 2 is 7. 28 divided by 2 is 14. Now let's see, can we go further? Well, 7 is a prime, however, 7 will go into itself and into 14. So 7 divided into 7 is 1, 7 divided into 14 is 2, therefore you have your fraction in simplest form, 1/2. Alright, so now you try this one. Alright, so what will go into both, Alright, so what will go into 36 and 44? Well, hopefully you know that 4 and 11 are factors for 44, and 4 will also go into 36. So if we take 4 goes into 36, gives us a 9. 4 into 11 gives us an 11. I'm sorry, 4 into 44 gives us an 11. Now, you see that 11 is a prime number, and there's nothing that will go into 9 and 11. So therefore, you see that our simplified fraction, and I hope you got it, is 9/11. Alright, now it's your turn. Copy each of the fractions into your notebook where you have your grids, and you notice you have a mixed number here as well. Use the cake method if necessary. If you don't need the cake method and you can simplify it on your own, that's fine. But copy the fraction and then write it in simplest form. Pause the video. Alright, so 18/30. I hope you decided that the GCF was 6. You divided both by 6 and you would get 3/5. And there you end up with 2 primes. 3/9 you can divide both by 3, giving you 1/3. 81/90 can divide by 9 as your GCF, gives you 9/90. sorry, Mrs. Jordan's hand slipping, tenths. 100 3/25ths. Okay, well, 100 won't work, but let's try 50. So that would give us 2. 50 divided into 100 is 2. 50 divided into 300 would go 60. Oops, that's not going to work. So it looks like we're going to have to opt for 25. So if we go for 25, 25 into 100 is 4. 25 into 100 goes 4. We have 300, so that's 12. And another 25 gives us 13. Finally, we have 16/24. Of course, we keep our whole number. 4 will go into 16 and 24, giving us 4 6. Well, I can simplify that again by dividing by 2, which would give me 2 thirds. So what I really should have done, if you probably noticed, I should have gone in with 8. 8 was my GCF. But you noticed here that even if you don't pick the GCF right away and you end up with 2 even numbers, you know just to divide by 2, and then of course you ended up with 2 thirds. Maybe you got it right off the bat. I hope so. Alright, let's move on. Alright, next we're going to be changing mixed numbers to improper fractions. And in order to do this, we simply just go around the world. So we start down in the basement with 4. We multiply it times our big mixed number. So 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 gives us 21. So just go, okay, clockwise. Then you put the 21 over the denominator, and you have 21/4. All right, let's move on. Now, you are going to practice these with me. Okay, so 5 times 3, let's just do it with me, is 15, and 15 plus 2 gives us 17. Oh, that's a very crooked one, isn't it? 17/5. Notice that I'm keeping my denominator. All right, let's go to our next one. We're going around the world, okay, clockwise. So 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. So here we have 18/7. Sorry for the interruption. All right, let's move on. So here we go around again. We're kind of going in clockwise. So 6 times 1 is 6, plus 5 is 11. So we have 11/6. You're probably doing this before me. 3 times 4 is, plus 1 is, you've got it, 13/3. Perfect. Now, you are to copy these 3 into your notebook and change them from the mixed number to the improper fraction. If you forgot, just rewind the video just a little bit. All right, go ahead. Pause the video and get started. Okay, so I hope you remembered. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 gives us 31/6. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 plus 3 gives you 11/4. All right, let's see if you got the last one correct. 2 times 7, you got it, 14, plus 1 gives us 15/2. All right, let's move on. Now we're going to change our improper fractions to mixed numbers. In order to do that, we simply divide the denominator into the numerator. So remember, the denominator is our divisor. We divide that into our numerator. Sometimes you're going to, even when we're getting ready to do decimals, this line always means to divide. This fraction bar means to divide. So here we divide 7 into 8, goes once. And we subtract 8 minus 7 gives us 1 as our remainder. So then we take what's left over, because what's left over goes up on top. because it's a numerator. Numerators go on top. It goes over the denominator, over the divisor, and we have 1/7. All right, now you have these three to copy into your notebook and work. Pause the video. All right, let's check. So if we take, let's get a pen. We take 6 and we divide it into 11. Okay, it goes one time, and 11 minus 6 gives us 5. Now, we bring our 5 up. It is what's left over, so it goes over the denominator. So our answer is 1 5/6. Okay, here we have 4/13. So we take our 4, we divide it into 13. Now 4 will go into 13 3 times, and 3 times 4 is 12. 13 minus 12 leaves us 1 left over. What's left over becomes your numerator. So we end up with 3 1/4. And finally, 1/2. You really don't need to do that, but 1 will go into 2 whole times, and 2 times 1 is 2, leaving us without a remainder and our answer being 2. All right, so now you are going to go on to Edmodo, and I'm going to have these games on there for you to practice further.